What a beautiful morning. Good morning, folks. Once again, this is Mansa Akebulan, episode 7. A beautiful day, the 2nd of August 2024, on a cold, chilly Friday morning. This is beautiful to have you here again and to be back to these markets again. Again, this is European session. At this very moment, we'll be working with German 40 or DAX 30, whatever you call it. And as always, as a habit, got something I would love to share with you before we get into the business of the day. One has to do with yesterday's live streams. Yesterday's live stream, episode 6 specifically. It was cut short due to some sort of internet outage in the area where I hail from, or where I'm doing these live streams from. So up to where the live stream ended, it was somewhat like 24-26 minutes there, but it wasn't the full session. So by the time I was coming out of the whole session, I had managed to break even on that day. In that session. So I began the session with a loss of $172. I went on to make $72, still part of during the live stream. Then as it was cut again, the markets were good enough to me, and I managed to get out with at a break even. That is why you see my balance here. If it's quite visible to you, my balance here reads 9841. Yet yesterday it was something like 9802 something there. Yeah. So I felt I should let you know that, because we are in this journey together, and this is a process for me, and I take it very seriously, and I don't think you should be left out at any instant. So gentlemen and gentle ladies, got something to share with you briefly before we get into the markets and see what the markets have to offer us today. So one of the things was yesterday's session during the US session. I almost got a big hit there. And the tension levels in my body were really high. And I couldn't stop thinking about why we become so much tensed whenever we are in a position. Well, it is a human behavior to fear, to have these emotions, to feel tensed. But why do they come out in a very pronounced way whenever we are trading? Okay, Mansa, possibly it's because, when we are trading, we are dealing with real money. Okay, that's a valid reason. But what other reasons could be a contributing factor to why we feel tensed and this tension gets into the way of our trading? And I got something interesting and something intriguing about that. And I thought to myself, perhaps tension comes when we have a big position that we have not accepted its risk. Yes. And the brain tells you that that trade is not worth that risk. And you know it very well. But you don't want to admit, because your subconscious thinks it's right. You see? So it's like a battle between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and the stubborn you, and perhaps maybe the egoistic you. You want to reap something good and big very fast, so you end up putting a very big risk in a trade that, again, it's not a high probability trade. And when you're already in loss, perhaps just a few points, a few pips, just a small retracement, you cannot manage to sustain that retracement, and your mind, there is all this havoc in there. And I think it's that reason. Okay, now what do we do? Okay, that's the problem. What do we do? Do I really know what we should do? Perhaps what we should do is we should treat every trade equally, in the same manner. No trade is better than the other, particularly when you have understood your edge really well, when you've understood your model really well, You should arrive at a level where no trade is perfect than the other. All these things, this game is all about probabilities. It is a probabilistic game. So when you begin accruing high bets, let me use that word, or high level of confidence on certain setups compared to others, and you are still in your formative days, you're still in your beginning days, you're still an intermediate trader, you're still a break-even trader, isn't that dangerous, really? Well, I know, but again, you see, the more you advance, you hit a level where you're a professional trader, you become a discretionary trader, and some trades, you have a feel of them and you'll be accruing bigger risk to them, you'll be accruing more confidence to them. That time will come. But Mansa Akebulan, you're not there yet. And possibly anybody who is watching me at the moment, I don't think you're there yet. Otherwise, if you're there yet, you could not be watching me. Very well. Anyway, take that one lightly. But you see, that's a fact. We should treat, and I should treat these trades equally, with equal levels of confidence. And I'm only taking a trade because my setup has played out perfectly. My model is in place and my strategy is in place. Now, ladies and gents, that is all I felt I should echo to you before we get into the business of the day. So I am happy. So far, so good. We're still pushing on. We're still grinding. And we are hopeful and confident that in due time, in the fullness of time, we will get there. Certainly, we will get there. So I'll get back to background music. You enjoy the music and we get in the business of the day. Very well, folks. So at this very instance, I'm still, I don't have a very solid trade idea yet, but looking at the markets, what I've just looked at from the higher time frames, 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, they all look very bearish. And that bear move began yesterday in the New York session. So I'm not quite sure whether today is a trade day. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't know whether I'll get, those rebalances of the ranges done, because like today we already have a pretty good one so far. So if we were to buy, I would wait for the market up until, this level. But the market doesn't seem to be showing any interest of buying. But I can't validate that quite confidently yet. So what I'll do, if it gives me a retracement here, or it continues rallying down, I'll execute a random sell trade, just as I've written on the screen there. And that random sell trade will help me validate whether today is a trade day, because where the market is at the moment, where that low is, which is at 17,781.30, we don't have a significant level there where we can say that the market has, dipped into a key level and that will lead to a reversal, or a key level, or that will push price down more aggressively. We can't quite confirm, I can't quite confirm that confidently. And so one thing I have in my model is there are days that will be there and you've no fucking idea what is happening in the markets. So instead of just observing the markets, yes, they are moving, but your setups are not playing, you can take a trade randomly with a smaller lot size. It's like dipping your finger into water and just check the temperature of that water and know whether it's cold, warm, hot, lukewarm, those kind of things. So the same case happens or applies to the market. So at this very moment, I'm still not confident with a buy or a sell. I'm not confident with anything. But should it continue dipping down, I'm executing a random sell trade. Should it now begin reversing, I'll execute a buy position, but none of those are high probability trades for me, because at the moment I don't have a solid trade idea. Because as you can quite see from the higher time frames, in as much as I said I don't trade with them, yes, I don't trade with them, but I pay a lot of homage to them because they help me have a better trade idea. Because as we can see from the higher time frame, this is 1 day. The whole of yesterday we had a clean bear move. Today from the open of the day, let me get this vertical line out. From the open of the day, we had a small upward movement for making the high. Then we started dipping down right from the open of the day. You see that? And we've already crossed a major level. And that is a level I felt perhaps price would stagnate there. Perhaps price would revert at that very level, but that didn't happen. And now we're already approaching this price of using the 1 day candle. The opening price at 17 should be what now? Should be 17,749.26, right? If we put it back at that very low, okay, then we should expect seeing price, push down aggressively. Push down aggressively. That is in the 1 day. In the 4 hour, the situation is not different. You can say that. In the 1 hour, again, the situation is not different either. Okay? Yeah, so in the 15 minutes again, let's see, have a look at that. In the 15 minutes, something is beginning to look a bit off, but it's okay. But the overall trade is be a move, okay? And the 5 minutes, I think we now have a good bull candle, very well, though the volume is gone, and you've already tapped into this level of imbalance between this low and this high and opening price of this close candle. Let me mark it with a rectangle just to demarcate that level for you quite clearly there. So you've already tapped into that level of imbalance. So that I should expect seeing lower prices being delivered in the market. Okay, so if we look at the 1 minute again, exactly, we've already tapped into that, and it also happens now we can clear this imbalance of the 5 minute and stick with the the 1 minute imbalance, and we have that low where you're seeing that CASA at 17,836.83 up until that opening price and high, which is at 17,820.32. We've already tapped into that, and the market didn't show any willingness in grabbing higher. So we, at this very area where market is at the moment, it's very easy to get a trade idea. Should we break on the upper side of that level of imbalance? I'll take a buy and leave my stop loss just below that level of imbalance. Should we not manage to break on the upper side, you see on the upper side, and begin having, lower prices being delivered in the market, the sell I was talking about, it would be an optimal time to take that sell. So let's see again. I think today there is a lot of waiting. Let us relax. Today is the last day of the week. We don't need to have a lot of hurry anyway. So let us chill and see how things are going to unfold. Very well. So we get back to the background music. This is fun. very well. So I'm already out of my first position of the day. It was a buy, and the reason was a breakout from this level of imbalance on the upside. I didn't get a very good entry price. I got it at this level, perhaps due to spread issues and whatever, and that is okay. I didn't get a very good exit. Maybe next time I will. So I got an exit at 17,862. Yet I had an exit at 17,866. So where price is at the moment, still not giving me very good vibes. But let's see. So as I said, today we do a lot of waiting for these setups. Not in a hurry. We've had the whole week, so let the game continue. So I am down 2% this very morning, and I think I will call it a live stream so that I can go and review my sanity. I think these losses are too many in these live streams, Buana. So anyway, perhaps we can do a bit of review of that trade I've just taken and see what really went wrong. So for me, that was a good setup. That was a good setup. Had the first buy here, exited here, didn't wait for this retracement. Could have been too hurtful for me. I don't know how or what I'm going to do to be sustaining these retracements of more than 15 minutes. 6 minutes, 7 minutes. But I have to do something about them. I took another buy here. Didn't even get into profit. Got an immediate reversal back to this area. My stop loss was at 17,820. So clearly my stop loss wasn't hit. But I took myself out with a 2% hit, which is 200 USD. Which is okay in a way. It's okay. It's not okay to lose money, but losing is the key to trading. It's part of the game. And I have to feel these losses. I have to learn from them and eventually spill them out and focus on the next trade. And because if I hang on it long enough, it's going to pollute my focus, which should always be on the next trade. Because the focus of any trader should always be on the next trade and the trade in place. So yeah, guys, that is that for the morning. I believe that was a good trade setup for me. If it was wrong, well and good. So that was a good trade setup which went wrong. And I am okay with that. We live to fight another day. So that is all I have for you today. I'll let the live stream there. I'll see you in the afternoon as we work on the US session, but in the afternoon things will be a little bit messy. We have NFP today, non-farm payrolls release, which make the markets move in a very, rocketed manner, with a lot of speed, with a lot of volatility. I don't usually trade news, but I trade after news to react on what the news did. So I'll be there. But until then, guys, peace, and I'm happy to have you here. I'm glad to have you here. Mansa Akebulan.